listen to this.
Hello. Today I am recording this tape to help all of us come to know the mind, to become acquainted with the knowledge of mental enlightenment, which is the one and only subject we must grasp before this body disintegrates. This knowledge will liberate us from suffering permanently, ensuring that we will never be reborn again. This will be our final existence. It is the most profound knowledge, yet it is not truly mysterious, because it is right before our eyes, ever present within our hearts. The only reason we do not realize it is because no one in this world has pointed it out to us clearly enough. I have created these recordings to talk about the mind, to speak of the cessation of rebirth, the liberation from suffering, the essence of world peace, the universal core of freedom from suffering, so that we may all awaken to the truth. The aim is for each of us to be free from suffering forever, never to return to this cycle of existence. In the past, I would ask myself, how did I get here? What do I truly seek? If this body were to disintegrate and die, where would I go? There was only ignorance, yet somewhere deep inside, I sensed that I desired something that I couldn't quite identify. I spent my entire life searching for that answer, but no one taught me about it. Instead, I was lost in the belief that I was a human being, that everything in life was real, that every experience was the truth. I lived as all other humans do, having a family, pursuing worldly goals, but none of it was what I truly sought. What did I really want? I had everything, every worldly comfort, but it was still not what I was searching for. My life was filled with suffering, struggling from dawn till dusk, just to secure a single meal. It felt as though I were trapped in this world, imprisoned in this body. I longed to escape, to break free from the rules and confines of human existence. I wanted to be free, but I couldn't understand what that freedom was. I would ask my heart, what do I truly want? Despite having everything, it was not what I was seeking. The world could only provide so much, but it was not the answer to what I truly desired. I wanted to be free from the world, free from being a slave to money. From morning until night, I was caught up in the endless cycle of making money. When would it end? When would I finally stop? It felt as though I were chained and dragged to work constantly, forced to struggle to sustain this body. And then the body would grow old and die, leaving nothing behind. What did I gain from being born? Absolutely nothing. What do we truly gain from being born? We are born to age and die. We are born to seek happiness. But then what? We still die. Happiness and suffering are two sides of the same coin. When things go as we expect, happiness arises. When things don't, suffering emerges. This entire world is just this, nothing more. Yet deep down, there is a feeling that we did not come to this world just for this. There is a feeling that we are not these things. Has anyone ever felt that? I have felt this way since I was a child, ever since I was born into this vessel called the body. Inside, there has always been a longing to break free from all of this, a sense that this is not what I truly want, that there is something more waiting to be discovered. I have spent my entire life searching for that answer. We created a concept called money. We created pieces of paper and called them money, and then we became slaves to that money. We struggle and kill each other for it, destroy each other, harbor anger, hatred, and vengeance, even within our own families, all because of money. I have asked myself, why must we be slaves to these things? From morning till night, we struggle to find food, to feed this body, to survive. When will it ever end? The body needs to eat. It can't go without food. And as long as it suffers, It seeks happiness. But happiness and suffering are inseparable, like two sides of a coin. You flip the coin and get both heads and tails. You want heads, but tails come along every time. The same goes for the mind. We crave happiness, but suffering always comes along with it. I feel like I am trapped in a cage. Has anyone ever felt this way? Since I was a child, I have felt this way, wondering, why am I here? What do I truly want? And then, the body eventually disintegrates and dies. Where do we go? When will we finally escape this prison? Do you know what happens when this body dies? The mind or life element drifts away, searching for a new body, and it all starts again. We learn, we eat, we destroy one another, and then the body disintegrates and dies. The mind drifts to find another vessel, and it all begins anew. Anger, hatred, vengeance, consuming and being consumed, and then dying again. It goes on and on like this. Knowledge is meaningless. Happiness is meaningless. Suffering is meaningless. Everything resets, like playing the same game over and over, watching the same movie again and again. Life is nothing more than this. Being born to struggle for food, eat a single meal, sleep, wake up, and struggle again for another meal. We are slaves to these things, chained and confined in a prison of our own making. Has anyone ever felt this way? Since I was a child, I have had this deep feeling, a longing to escape from everything, but not knowing how. Can you imagine it? We believe we are human. We believe everything is real. So how can we possibly escape? How can we find the way out? Deep down I know there is a way out. But how? I don't know. I kept asking my heart the same question over and over. I already have everything, so why am I still not free from suffering? There is still happiness and suffering, just as before. Since the day I was born, nothing has changed. I struggle to find food, sleep, wake up, and struggle again to find food. Sleep, wake up, that's all there is. And then, I wait for the day this body dies, only to start over again, seeking a new body. Most of the time, we are reborn as lower beings. The chance of becoming human is exceedingly rare. Then, one day, I awakened to the truth within. I began to see that the very voice speaking within me was the source of everything. At first, I understood it like this. I saw that everything was just thoughts. Do you see it? The voice is speaking constantly. It thinks and thinks, endlessly chattering inside. All the thoughts, all the words, they arise and fall, creating every single experience. In that moment, all the knowledge I had accumulated throughout my life shattered, disintegrating completely. It felt as though my mind exploded, like all the experiences and memories I had carried since birth were blown away. My mind became empty, weightless, as though I had no brain at all, just a vast open space. It was an extraordinary knowledge, unlike anything I had ever known. It was knowledge without words, without relying on the brain or thought. It was a state of pure awareness, light, empty, and utterly miraculous. It felt as though 25% of my human nature had been obliterated at that moment. From that point on, I kept observing within. I saw the voice speaking, the mental images forming, the emotions rising, the happiness and the suffering appearing and dissolving. I watched them all the time. Yet amidst it all, a deeper question kept echoing within. Where did this sense of self come from? Where does the feeling of being me truly originate? Later, I came to see and understand that we are merely inhabiting these things. Back then, it was still new to me. I began to see the voice speaking within, the voice we call thought. I saw my thoughts constantly during that time. After realizing that it was the thoughts themselves that created everything, I kept observing them, watching my own thoughts, seeing the emotions, the satisfaction, the dissatisfaction, the happiness, the suffering. Gradually, they started to fade away. The emotions remained the same, but I no longer paid attention to them. It was as if I had separated myself, becoming another entity, observing this body, watching these emotions, these thoughts. It was like this. I was a completely different nature, simply watching all of this. It was so strange. I had never experienced anything like it before, and no one in this world had ever pointed it out or explained it. But that's what I kept seeing inside. I kept seeing it over and over again. I was utterly indifferent to emotions at that point. Whether it was pleasure or displeasure, I dismissed it. Whether it was happiness or suffering, it was just the same. Whatever the emotion was, I no longer cared. It was as if I was saying, I will no longer depend on you. It was like that, completely detached. I felt as though I had stepped back, as though I was only watching that voice, the voice that kept talking incessantly. It was constantly chattering, thinking this and that, ceaselessly. I kept watching it, observing it all the time, from the moment I woke up until the moment I fell asleep. No matter what I was doing, I could see it, the mind thinking, endlessly spinning thoughts. The emotions were still there, but I was no longer attached to them. I no longer relied on them. Emotions became utterly meaningless to me. I was another nature altogether. But at that time, I didn't yet understand what it was. All I knew was that I could only see that voice, the voice that kept speaking within, the voice that was constantly talking. But who was it that was talking? Who was it? I just kept watching, and understanding gradually unfolded. I kept watching that voice speaking within, and I saw it speaking on its own. It spoke constantly, endlessly, all by itself. Thoughts kept arising and falling, and that natural state of seeing continued without interruption. Even while asleep, it was still seen. From the moment I woke up until the moment I fell asleep, I could see that voice talking, chattering non-stop. Ever since the first time I clearly saw my own thoughts and that inner explosion happened, I made a firm vow to myself. Oh, thoughts, you, the voice speaking within my mind, from this moment on, you and I are finished. Either you or I must die. I will only observe you. I will not cling to this voice anymore. I will not get swept away by it ever again. My mind made this resolute vow, and from that point on, I was laser focused on watching it. I watched it closely, relentlessly, because I despised it. I hated that voice in my mind. What was it? Who was it that kept talking? Even when I opened my mouth to speak, I could see it. Even when it thought silently within, I could see it. I could see it clearly, all the time. I hated it so much back then. You're the one creating everything, I said. So I just kept watching it, ignoring all emotions. I kicked emotions aside. I didn't care about them anymore. My attention was solely on that voice. It was as if I had stepped out of the emotions. At that point, I didn't even realize that I had detached from emotions, because I was completely indifferent to them. Happiness? I dismissed it, kicked it away. Suffering? I dismissed it too, kicked it away. At that time, both happiness and suffering had become meaningless. It was as though I was above them, no longer getting swept away by them. Emotions were still present, but I was already free from them. They had nothing to do with me anymore. Understand? I was beyond them, unbound and unaffected. As I kept observing my thoughts, it became clearer and clearer. I could see them all the time. Even while asleep, the thoughts kept arising, endlessly chattering away. They operated on their own, entirely by themselves. All I had to do was understand them, grasp their nature, and that was the only answer to the question I had been searching for my entire life. Why were we born? What do we truly want? Until finally, I saw it. I saw who was speaking, and that was the moment when everything exploded within me for the first time. My mind felt completely empty, like my brain had disappeared, leaving only a vast, spacious void. It was so strange. It was a knowing that didn't require language. It simply saw, simply understood, but had no words to convey it. How could I speak about it to humans who rely on words when that knowledge itself needed no words? Do you understand? In that moment of explosion, I knew. This was the very thing I had been searching for all my life. All questions dissolved instantly. I no longer wondered why I was born. Every doubt vanished entirely. Yet there was still one question that remained. Now what? What comes next? What is the ultimate end? I kept watching my thoughts like that, observing them constantly. Emotions had completely dropped away by then. I don't even know when they disappeared, but I knew that I didn't care about them anymore. Whether it was happiness, suffering, or indifference, they all became meaningless to me. I was above them now. I was free from them. It felt like I had been released from a cage, like I had been chained up all this time and now had broken free. I was no longer shackled. I was no longer trapped. But there was still this voice, the voice that kept dragging me along. It was like a chain wrapped around my neck, my arms, my legs, pulling me along. The voice kept pulling me, and I kept getting swept away by it. Do you understand? I was trapped in the world of this voice, from the moment I woke up until the moment I fell asleep. I kept observing it all the time. It was as if the mind itself was analyzing it, contemplating it, understanding it on its own. And in that seeing, it became clear. This is how it is. There is nothing here that is me. Even the voice speaking right now is still relying on that very voice to communicate. Nothing here belongs to me. It was just that voice, endlessly chattering, endlessly pulling. Every time I thought, I understand now. It's you, the voice. It was as if I concluded, all I have to do is not get swept away by it, and that's it. But in those moments of thinking I understood, I didn't realize that I was still thinking. I was still relying on thought while concluding, I get it now. Back then, I didn't know that I was still using thought to form those conclusions. I only knew that I had grasped the principle, that I understood, and it felt so light, so free. But it wasn't the end. I could sense it. It was still incomplete. Then, the perception became more and more refined. Even while asleep, I started to see it. Initially, I saw entire sentences, long phrases appearing in the mind, and then vanishing. I would see a full sentence, and then boom, it would burst apart. Another phrase would arise and boom, it would explode. Again and again. From seeing entire sentences, it narrowed down to single words. A single word would pop up, and the moment it appeared, it would explode. Just like that. It was as if the words would emerge and immediately get kicked away. The seeing became faster, sharper, more intense. Day and night, it was continuous. No sleep, no rest, just constant observation. And the understanding became clearer and clearer. It was so light, so spacious, so profoundly free. But still, it wasn't the end. There was still more to see. I kept observing, and it kept unraveling. No one ever taught me the way I'm now explaining in these tapes. I'm speaking with such detail so that you all can hear it, absorb it, and keep listening until you understand. Keep listening with an open heart, and eventually it will break open on its own. Trust me, it will break open. Our minds are elements of learning. They will learn on their own, understand on their own, and finally release themselves from the illusion on their own. The grasping will dissolve, and we will awaken to the pure, pristine element, so clear, merging seamlessly with the entire universe. Once we see that this body is not our body, that the voice speaking is not our voice, that the mental images are not our images, and that the emotions are not our emotions, we realize that they are all just natural phenomena, mere tools we use to navigate this world. But in our ignorance, we mistake them for ourselves and call them me and mine. That is where we get trapped. Everything is just nature functioning on its own. See it clearly. The voice speaking within the mind, it speaks on its own. The mental images, they arise on their own. Emotions, they do their job, forming happiness, suffering, and neutrality on their own. This is simply how they operate. It is not us. They function independently as part of their natural process. Once you see clearly that they operate by themselves, ask yourself, then where is me? Where is this self? Even the memories we hold, all the things we've ever remembered, are just tools to be used in this world. They belong to no one. They are simply another natural phenomenon that perceives and responds. Right now, you hear a sound. That perception happens naturally, by itself. It is the nature of perception to hear, to smell, to see, to taste, to sense heat and cold. It perceives on its own. So then, where is this self? Let the mind ask itself this question. The moment the mind responds, there will be a sudden, profound realization. It will explode, shattering into countless pieces. And in that moment, you will discover the pure, clear element that is entirely beyond language. It is utterly silent, merging seamlessly with the entire universe. It knows all things, but it clings to nothing, for there is no one left to grasp onto anything. What remains is just pure nature, unbound and unclaimed, and it is completely free from suffering. This is the knowledge of the mind. It is a single unified knowledge, a single subject. We must awaken to the mind, to the life element within ourselves. Once we do, we will be free from suffering, and we will not be born again. Remember this well. While lying down, I could see the thoughts rising up, popping up suddenly, and then exploding with a loud burst. Every word that arose from the mind, every expression that surged forth, was an appearance. It emerged as a sound, as an image, as an emotion, as an awareness. All of these were mere appearances, not the mind, not the self, just natural phenomena operating on their own. The voice operated on its own. The mental images arose on their own. Emotions formed and dissolved on their own. Awareness perceived on its own. Just like the heart pumps blood on its own, the lungs purify air on their own, the stomach digests food on its own, and the intestines absorb nutrients on their own. Everything functions independently, without anyone controlling it. Understand this clearly. As I kept watching in this way, the questions I had asked myself my whole life found their answers, but it still wasn't the end. I kept seeing it, even while asleep. It was so strange. This continued for over a week. Then, one night, I fell asleep, but only the body slept. The mind remained awake, observing everything. Then it jolted awake again, and in that moment, there was a profound sense of lightness, of emptiness. It felt as though I had slept for 8 hours, yet in reality, Only half an hour had passed. Suddenly, I felt it again. An appearance surged up as a single word, and the moment it arose, it burst apart instantly. Another word arose, boom, gone. Again and again, words popped up and exploded, one after another, rapidly. It was like a series of bursts, words rising and disintegrating in rapid succession. The faster it went, the more I realized, I am not involved in this at all. It is all happening on its own. At this stage, I was completely uninvolved. It was as if I were merely watching it all happen on its own. The knower knew on its own. The appearances surged and dissolved on their own. This is where most people misunderstand. They believe that they are the ones knowing, the ones seeing, the ones experiencing. But I am telling you now, it all operates on its own. There is no self. Then, it accelerated further, faster and faster, exponentially. In 1 second, it must have happened tens of thousands of times. It was a high-frequency vibration, not human language anymore. It was just a rapid sequence of vibrations, arising, knowing, bursting, arising, knowing, bursting, until finally, the whole thing exploded with a tremendous blast, as if a bomb had been thrown right into my chest and detonated. In that moment, the body shattered into countless fragments. Every piece of knowledge, every thought, every memory, every emotion disintegrated into nothingness. It was as if the entire world, the entire universe, vanished completely. Everything was empty, spacious, bright, pervading everything, merging as one with everything. It could be called a kind of all-encompassing knowledge, containing all understanding, yet it was nothing at all. It was just a pure, clear, pristine element, an element that was fully aware of itself, knowing with absolute clarity that it was this very element. That moment was indescribable, utterly miraculous, utterly strange. I had never encountered anything like it before. No one had ever taught me anything like this. When it was like that, I thought to myself, let me contemplate what just happened. But the moment I intended to contemplate, a question arose within me. Why contemplate? It's all just mental fabrication. Oh, in that moment, it became clear. There was no need to contemplate what had just happened. It already knew. The mind already knew what had occurred, where it came from, what led to it. There was no need to investigate further, just knowing that it was what it was. That was enough. And then, it all stopped. Just like that. Instantly. I fell into a deep, restful sleep. Upon waking up, I simply carried on, doing what needed to be done, living life as it was. But now, everything was understood. Knowledge poured forth, flowing effortlessly, revealing everything. It was as if I knew everything at once. The entire cycle of birth and death, the reason we keep wandering through endless vessels, the origin of our minds, why we keep inhabiting different forms without end. Life after life, we keep being born and dying, endlessly seeking new vessels. We struggle, consume each other, grow old, die, and then search for a new form, only to start all over again. It's been like this, over and over, ceaselessly repeating. And now, it was all so clear. It had always been like this. Now, I know why. I saw life itself. I saw the life element of each being wandering, searching for a place to be born, suffering, and then dying, only to start the cycle again. Round and round, they keep circling, endlessly repeating the cycle of birth and death. I saw it all, and tears streamed down my face. I realized that nothing truly exists. We have been deluded by appearances. None of us have ever truly been born into this world. We have never been a person, never been male or female, never been old or young. This world is merely a realm of fabrications, where we come to dwell in the appearances that surge forth from the pure life element. We come to rely on the voice, the mental images, the emotions, the sensations. We come to inhabit these things, and then we get swept away, drowning in the meanings that these tools convey. We grasp at these appearances, claiming them as me and mine. This is my body, my family, my home, my car, my land, my world, my universe. And we get lost in the delusion that we are truly a self, that we genuinely exist. But the truth is, we have never really been born into this world. It is just like falling asleep and dreaming. And in that dream, we believe everything to be real. But when we wake up, we realize that none of it was real. Likewise, when we awaken to the zero dimension, to the reality of the formless essence, we see that nothing here has ever truly existed. We were never truly here. We have always been the pure element, untouched and unborn. Our mind, or the life element, is the zero element, a state that is beyond time, beyond distance, beyond all conditioning. It is utterly silent, profoundly pure, radiant, and boundlessly expansive. It is the purest of the pure, immense. There is no suffering whatsoever in this state. Once it awakens, it knows unmistakably that it will not be reborn. There is nothing more to do, nothing left to achieve. It has transcended suffering entirely. Now, life continues as it always has. Outwardly, everything is the same. The body functions as it always did. But the only difference now is that there is no me in this world anymore. There is only the appearance of things functioning on their own. What humans call voice. For me, it is not a voice. The world thinks I am speaking about the mind, about the life element, right? But for me, I am not speaking at all. Humans rely on these tools, sound, thought, sensation, and that's why they don't understand this nature. Humans think they are hearing a voice right now. But let me ask you, do you have to try to hear it? Number. It is heard on its own, right? Humans think they are perceiving right now. But what I see is that there is no one perceiving anything at all. There is no voice. There is no speaker. There is no perceiver. There is absolutely nothing. No world. No universe. Not even the thing called sound. Not even the thing called self. Not even the thing called me. This is a knowledge that is impossible to convey through words. But I must try to convey it, so that humans can awaken to the mind, to the life element, and be free from suffering once and for all. This is the only purpose, to declare this truth and guide others to realize it for themselves. All of us have a mind, a life element that is pure, clear, and radiant. But we do not know ourselves. This is the fundamental ignorance inherent in the nature of this pure element. And that is what we must wake up to. The mind, or the pure life element, is a natural element that seeks to learn. And in order to learn, it must rely on tools. It relies on appearances that manifest as sounds, images, emotions, and sensations. It comes to inhabit these appearances, these tools, and then further attaches to the body as its vessel. We come to dwell in this bodily vessel, using it as a container. We rely on the voice, mental images, emotions, and sensations, using these fabricated tools to learn about everything in existence. And in doing so, we also have the opportunity to learn about ourselves. But most of us do not turn inward to learn about the mind. We don't come to know our own mind, our own life element. Instead, we get lost in learning about external things, acquiring possessions and claiming them as me and mine. We have never truly been born, so how could anything in this world be ours? We fight and kill, we seize land, claiming it as our own. But the land belongs to the earth. Why fight over it? We fight over food, yet the world is abundant with food. Eat what you need. Why oppress? Why kill? Why devour one another? We are the mind, the life element, formless, empty, clear, utterly pure, only here to learn and realize what we truly are. That's it. I am here to proclaim, to remind you all to wake up and return home. The Father is waiting. We have wandered far too long. It's time to come home. We are the mind, the life element. Realize it now. All the external pursuits, the endless search for knowledge, are ultimately useless. They cannot free you from suffering. Why? Because suffering arises right here within the mind itself. That is the only place it can be transcended. That is where the true home is. Awaken within. See clearly that the constant thinking, the endless stream of thoughts, is what creates concepts and labels for everything. It assigns value and meaning to all things. For example, we call that thing a mango tree. But that's just a conventional label. Look closely. That thing doesn't say it's a mango tree. It is the voice that calls it a mango tree. In truth, nothing has a name. Even the body doesn't have a name. And no one owns anything. But we believe, this is my arm, my leg. I am a man. I am a woman. It is the voice that says these things. We rely on this voice to assign value and meaning to everything, endlessly. If you can see this clearly and awaken to it at this very moment, tears may fall. Congratulations. That's 25% already. Keep listening to my tapes, everyone. Whether you are a child, an elder, disabled, male, female, regardless of age, status, gender, caste, or belief, all can listen. I have made these tapes to speak the truth about the mind, to share it with everyone, with no divisions or distinctions. All are equal. All are one. All are the same essence. Do we realize that we are all of the same essence? It's time to return home. We are the pure, clear life element, the living essence without form. We are the nature that is formless, but we come to dwell in this form only to learn. That's all. Let me repeat it. Do we truly understand why we have come to inhabit this vessel? This vessel doesn't last long. Soon, it will die. The time remaining is very short. It could be tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, or any moment now. If we still do not awaken to the mind, if we still do not realize that we are the mind, the formless life element, the clear, radiant essence, if we do not awaken to our own pure element, then we will continue to inhabit vessel after vessel. We will be reborn, start over, die, find a new vessel, start over again, endlessly repeating the cycle of suffering. We will continue to struggle to survive, consuming each other, devouring each other, killing, destroying, harboring anger and hatred. It has been like this since we were animals, and even now, as humans, it is still the same. We have been born as every type of being countless times. Even as humans, we have been born over and over again, endlessly. We have taken up so many vessels on this earth that it is beyond counting, infinite. We have been everything, every form. And yet, we still do not know the truth. All we have is ignorance. And every time we are reborn, we start again from the very beginning, not knowing, not realizing. And so, the cycle continues. But for anyone who truly wants it to end, listen to my tapes a lot. We can break free from this cage, from these chains. This knowledge of the mind, this subject of mental enlightenment, must be shared with everyone. Let us all help spread it. Share the knowledge of liberation from suffering with everyone you can. And when people listen, when they hear, and suddenly realize the truth, tears will flow, and they will never suffer again. Their hearts will be completely filled. They will thank us for sharing this profound truth with them. Here, in the Panyawimutty group, not a single cent is charged. Everything here is given freely, purely. The only purpose is to help everyone recognize the mind, the life element that is pure and clear. We all already have a mind. We all already possess the pure element. That very thing we call me is actually the pure element. But we do not know this. Instead, we believe that we are human. We believe that this voice is me, speaking. But there is no me. There is no me existing in this world. There are only manifestations of the mind, vibrating as sound. That is all, just the mind's vibrations. The mental images are also vibrations of the mind, emotions of happiness, suffering, neutrality. All emotions are simply vibrations of the mind. Memory, perception, the awareness that is present right now. All of these are just expressions of the mind. The mind sees on its own. It smells on its own. It tastes on its own. It functions on its own. Look closely. Observe deeply. There is no self in this mass of elements. Time passes. Days and nights go by. What are we still searching for? You don't need to memorize anything. You don't need to take your body to walk, sit, or dwell in forests or mountains. It's not about that. It's about listening to understand, understanding until it reaches the heart. Observe closely. How can it possibly be me? Test it for yourself. See clearly that the voice speaking within is not you speaking. It speaks on its own. It thinks on its own. There is no self there. I just want to share with all of you what I had been asking myself my entire life. How did we come to inhabit this vessel? What do we truly seek? And where do we go after death? There was nothing but ignorance, yet there was still this deep feeling of wanting something unknown. That's where the drive of the mind arises. When the mind sets its intention to be free from suffering, to no longer be reborn, that very intention becomes the force that drives the mind to swim against the current, to break free from the cage, to escape the chains that bind us. We are being pulled along by thought, by the voice that keeps talking, endlessly dragging us wherever it wants. The moment anyone sees the danger of getting swept away by these things, liberation will come easily. Once you see clearly that the voice, the mental images, the emotions, and the sensations are all pulling you along, then the realization arises. If that is so, why do I keep flowing along with them? Is there really a self there? The mind begins to question. This voice, it has no self, does it? It can't be grasped. Then why do I get carried away by it? Oh, when that moment of realization hits, tears will fall. The recognition comes. What is being known right now? Is it being known by me? Or is it just being known on its own? Why have we been swept away by it? Why did we believe that we were the ones knowing? Tears flow. The heart feels completely empty, light, and vast. The moment you detach from the voice and the knowing, that's it. It's over. There's only this, nothing more. Live life as usual, just as you always have, from the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep. But simply observe. That's all. Just observe. The key is to listen to the tapes, a lot. Listen until my voice echoes within your mind constantly. Keep listening until the essence of what I am saying sinks deep into your heart. We must bring this curriculum into the education system. From kindergarten all the way to doctoral studies, everyone must learn this subject. Help spread these tapes to people all over the world. Let's work together. This is the highest blessing, the greatest gift you can give to others. sharing the knowledge that leads to the end of suffering. For those who are wealthy and have abundant resources, this is the most valuable gift you could ever give. The gift of knowledge that helps people recognize the mind, the life element. When someone realizes the truth and awakens, they are freed from suffering. This is the most profound act of giving. It is the purest, the highest blessing. And we must also listen. This knowledge of the mind is a subject that very few people truly understand. Only those who have completely penetrated the truth can explain it in detail. So keep listening. Listen until the mind opens. Listen until it knows. This is the way. We have mistakenly come to dwell within this vessel, this body. We have come to inhabit it. Imagine a vessel, a body placed in front of you. If there were no us inhabiting it, that body would simply decay and rot away, wouldn't it? Now, imagine someone pulling us out of this body, pulling the mind, the life element, the consciousness out of the body. What would happen to the body? It would immediately collapse and begin to decompose. The heart would stop beating. The brain would no longer think. Everything would cease instantly. But the moment the mind enters the body, it comes to life. Why? Because the mind is the life element. We are not the body. We are no form. This clearly shows that we do not have a form. If this body dies, the mind will go on to find a new body. Can you see it? The mind, our true nature, has never truly been anything at all. It has never been bound to any form. It is simply a formless, empty, clear essence, a pure life element. It doesn't eat. It doesn't need food. The body eats, but the mind is not affected by hunger or fullness. The mind is the primordial essence, the clear, empty element that is the source of all things. It is that pure, clear substance, the very fabric of emptiness, seamlessly merging with the entire cosmos. We are that pure, clear essence, the elemental source of all things. We are one with the elemental cosmos. We are only here to learn, to realize this truth, and to return home. That's it. When I say return home, I mean realizing the mind, realizing that we are the pure, clear essence. Beyond that, there is nothing that is truly us. We have never truly been born into this world, and once we awaken to this truth, we will know that we will never be born again. This is the final life. That is the meaning of returning home. It becomes crystal clear. We are one and the same with the vast, clear emptiness that is right before us. That clear, empty space that cannot be touched. That is what we are. We are that clear element. Look at the air, carbon, oxygen. They exist within that clear, empty space. Cool air, warm air. They are a pair of opposites, yet they both dwell within the same clear, empty space. Air can move with intense force, forming storms, hurricanes, tornadoes. Even then, it is still moving within that clear, empty space. Take an atomic bomb, a nuclear explosion, detonate it right in front of us. The body disintegrates, the world shatters into countless fragments, yet all of it still happens within that same clear, empty space. This clear, empty space is not anything at all. It is not affected by what arises or what falls away. It simply is, untouched, formless, boundless. That is what we truly are. Can you grasp this? It's so simple. Can you see it? For those who are sharp, just 1 minute of listening. That's all it takes. Tears will fall. The heart will overflow with the realization that there will be no more birth. But for those who are stubborn, indifferent to the end of suffering, who delight in suffering, in killing, in destroying, in harboring anger, hatred, arrogance, those people will need to keep listening continuously for 7 years. Keep listening throughout their entire life, until their very last breath. Only then will they not be reborn. This type is the most difficult, the most resistant. So, don't ask, why do I keep listening, but still don't understand? That's exactly why. Make yourself like an empty glass, like a worm in the soil. No brain, no memory, no thinking. I'm not teaching you to memorize anything. I'm not teaching you to believe anything. I'm not teaching you to think about anything. I am only speaking the truth, and that truth is right in front of you, all the time. Just see it. See that the voice speaking right now, who is it? This voice speaks on its own. See clearly that the act of hearing the voice, it is being known by itself. Oh, it knows on its own. Then where is the me? When this is clearly seen, everything breaks apart. Everything collapses into nothingness. All that remains is the pure, clear element, merging seamlessly with the elemental cosmos. When this happens, you will know what is unknown to the rest of humanity. Those who realize it first will be liberated first, freed from suffering first. Then, it is their turn to proclaim this truth and share this knowledge with everyone in the world. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone in this world only talked about the mind, about the pure, clear life element? Think about it. Imagine if we were billionaires. Wouldn't we want to distribute these tapes to everyone on the planet? Let everyone hear them constantly. And those who keep listening again and again will start to understand deeply, profoundly. They will realize that they are completely free. There is no suffering left. There is nothing that is me. And they will know with all their heart that they will not be reborn again. It will feel so light, so spacious, so free. There will be no more worries about anything. The entire world would be filled with smiles because there is no self to cling to anymore. That is the profound blessing that comes from truly listening, from absorbing the teachings until they penetrate the heart. In the end, we will be free from suffering permanently. We will dissolve into the pure, clear element, merging completely with the entire cosmos, a life element that has finally returned home. When one reaches this point, there is no arrogance, no boasting, no claims of being a god, a supreme being, or the creator of everything. There is no I am great, I am superior, I am the source of all things. None of that. If any of that remains, it means one is still playing with thoughts. When someone has truly arrived, they feel as though there is nothing left. It is empty, light, and utterly at ease. They understand. They have no doubts anymore. This is the final life. You can say it with absolute certainty. This is a person who is fully liberated, whose heart is filled to the brim with the truth. They have grasped the essence. They have arrived. We are nature, empty, clear, profoundly pure. We are the life element, the zero element, the immortal element, an element that is unborn and indestructible. We have never been born. Do you understand? In this pure nature, there is no time, no distance. It merges seamlessly with everything. We are the elemental cosmos. That is what we truly are. It's like a single drop of water that has been placed in the vessel of the body. Once that drop of water is returned to the vast ocean, it is no longer a single drop. It becomes one with the entire ocean. It is no longer just a drop. It is the entire ocean itself. This is the nature of our mind. We just need to see clearly that this nature that is speaking, thinking constantly, is not us. It is simply a natural function that thinks on its own. See it clearly. The nature that thinks is just thinking by itself. The nature that forms emotions, happiness, suffering, neutrality, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, is simply doing its job. The nature that perceives right now, it perceives on its own. Look closely. It hears, smells, sees. It sees by itself. It knows by itself. So then, where is the me? Observe carefully. Ask yourself, what is knowing right now? If it is not me, then where is the self? Who is speaking right now? Who? And then it strikes. Wait, is it not me? Is it really not me? And then it explodes. A shattering realization. Tears flow. You cry, and the sense of me completely dissolves. This is the moment you break free from the illusion of self. This is the end of me. And what remains is just the clear, pure, boundless nature. One with everything. Nothing separate, nothing apart. It's as if the sense of self has been completely deceived by fabricated appearances, and then it cries. See this clearly, and it will be utterly miraculous. You will find only the purest, most pristine element, untouched by suffering. Imagine the people in this world, the elderly, the farmers, those who work in the fields and forests. They play these tapes while they work, whether they're cutting grass, clearing brush, harvesting sugarcane, gathering fruit, or collecting forest goods. They just keep listening, keep working, keep listening. And as they listen, they start to understand. Oh, this is not me. Wait, I've been deluded by this world. I've been lost in the world of fabrications. I thought this body was me. I thought that was my family, my house, my car. But none of it is me. Everything is just nature. As they gather forest goods, they keep listening, and tears start to fall. Oh, it's so light. It's so spacious. I don't need anything. I can live simply. I don't need to harm anyone. I don't need to destroy anything. I can share. I can help. I can give. Because there is nothing that is me. We were the ones who foolishly grasped at things. And when the body ages, gets sick, and is near death, they can go peacefully, with a smile. Why? Because they know there is nothing that is truly them. Let the body die. I will not be reborn. I am the formless life element, empty, clear, pure. Nothing is me anymore. I am free from suffering. Take this teaching to those who are lying in the hospital beds. Let them listen. As they listen, they realize, this is not me. This sickness is not mine. These symptoms are not mine. This is just nature doing its work. Why should I cling to it? And the heart begins to lighten. It becomes spacious, free. Tears of joy flow as they realize they have already been liberated from suffering. Let the sickness continue. Let it worsen if it will. Let the body die if it must. It is not me anymore. The mind becomes so light, so open, so free from all things. It is no longer tormented by anything. Isn't that magnificent? Even while lying sick in a hospital bed, there is no suffering. Even while facing death, there is no suffering. Why? Because they now know that there was never any self to begin with. This is just one example to help you reflect. Everyone must study the knowledge of the mind. Listen to these tapes. Share them with everyone. When all of us listen, when all of us understand, there will be no more suffering, and we will never be reborn again. That is the ultimate liberation. I will end it here. May all of us realize the mind, the life element that is empty, clear, pure, and profoundly pristine. May this realization come swiftly, suddenly, and completely. To everyone, may it be so. If you're interested in these teachings on awakening, mind observation, and transcending suffering through wisdom, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights in the comments, provide productive feedback, and if you find this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.